Hi everyone, I'm Roger Griffin, Head of Sales and Marketing at Acorn IT, and I'll be taking you through this webinar on Sage 200 today. Obviously you're watching and listening to this at your own leisure, but if you have any further questions or queries, please get in touch. My contact details are on screen. Firstly, a little bit of background for those of you that don't know us. Acorn IT are an accredited Sage implementation and development partner with offices in Kilrea and in Santry in North Dublin. This is our 17th year in business. During that time, we've been awarded the Sage Circle of Excellence on 3 occasions, which recognises the top 15 out of about 300 plus partners across the UK and Ireland, based directly on customer feedback, so something that we're very proud of. We work with both Sage 200 and Sage 50, so after about 400 plus projects, we're well placed to help companies through the implementation process of any new system. I also wanted to cover off some headlines on Sage. They're the 3rd largest ERP provider on the planet, around 13,500 employees globally and about 3 million customers. In Ireland, this roughly translates to about 350 employees, about 10,000 customers across the island. This slide is useful to give you an idea of the positioning on Sage 200 Cloud within the Sage portfolio. Sage has its entry-level products like Sage 1 or Sage Business Cloud Accounting and Sage 50, and this is to cover the space what Sage previously termed SSB or Startup and Small Business. Sage 200 is typically for companies that are in their 2nd phase of growth, so where they need to start to have more control or have slightly more complex processes that they need to manage. About 50% of companies using Sage 200 have migrated from Sage 50. So today we're going to give you a high-level overview of Sage 200 Cloud, or Sage 200C as it's sometimes known. Sage 200 Cloud is Sage's mid-market solution, aimed at those companies with about 1 to 50 million turnover, typically between 20 or 200 employees. There are 2 variants of Sage 200 Cloud, namely Standard and Professional. The Sage 200 Cloud Standard data is held on a secure cloud server. However, fewer modules are available and not all of the modules will have full functionality. Sage 200 Cloud Professional, the interface is similar. However, the data is stored in an on-premise database and all of the functionality is available. The solution is obviously more customizable as well. So firstly, let's get familiar with the screen layout. This is the user interface for Sage 200 Cloud. The options that you see in the left-hand menu are those modules that you will have purchased with your license. On the Getting Started or home page, you will have links to help files, some links to quick self-service videos to help with some of the functionality, and links to the various ledgers in the middle of the screen. On the top right, there's an easy access to the spooler where your output documents will be stored, configuration options in your Sage client, a link through to the Sage Ideas Hub. Here you can create new ideas which you would like to be added onto the Sage 200 roadmap and vote for those other ideas which are created by other users in the Sage 200 community. You can also access your favorites or the menu items that you've visited most frequently, and again access to the online help files. So you'll see each of the menu items here over on the left hand side are neatly stored by module, and the menu is also searchable. So if you're not quite sure where the module resides, you can quickly search and find it. And then again, a single click will take you through into that menu item. So the software is made up of core modules and additional modules. You only need to buy what you will need to use, and more importantly, you will not need to pay for any functionality that you don't need. Financials are the only mandatory modules, so the software can't run without them. These allow you to see the financial performance of the company at any time across the 4 key ledgers, which are nominal, Cashbook, sales ledger, and purchase ledger. Taking the first of these, the nominal ledger, this will highlight the first 2 core advantages over Sage 50. Sage 200 Cloud allows you to set up a flexible structure, including both cost centers and departments. We have a migration tool to allow companies to easily move from Sage 50 as you would expect. However, we have other import routines using the templates that are provided if you're migrating from another system. Clients will normally use this as an opportunity to manipulate their chart of accounts, and it makes perfect sense to do it at this stage. For those of you who are familiar with Sage 50, you will know that this is simply a bucket of date-driven transactions. The issue with this is when somebody posts a transaction with an incorrect date after a set of management reports have been run, the reports are going to be out of date and incorrect. So within Sage 200, the concept of financial periods, where periods can be opened, closed, and reopened as required. So I'll just show you an example of that. Type controls can be provided through the user access tables or permissions of who can perform what task. So for example, if I want to change the period status within the sales, it'll run through a process and allow me to do that, or not, as the case may be. Again, formal period end routines will ensure that processes are followed. So within each of the ledgers, I can drill through, and there's a set of menus items which is to be followed at the period end and the nominal close down. Again, I just want to use another example here of differences in Sage 200 over Sage 50, where in terms of budgets. So if I want to pick a group of nominal accounts, for example, within each nominal account we can set up a budget, which can either be a monthly budget, an annual budget, or indeed a group budget. So if I wanted to group together these 4 professional fees into a group budget, I could do that. They would all fall in under the single category. Again, nominal level or platform level, this Sage 200 Cloud also provides a link to the HMRC government gateway to submit and pay your VAT online, as you would expect. So secondly, we have Cashbook, helping keep track of the bank and cash accounts. All of the monetary transactions are recorded automatically from postings made in the sales and purchase ledgers, with the ability to manage foreign currency transactions also. Sage 200 Cloud also includes electronic banking, which allows you to make payments to the suppliers through the banking software. So if we just take a quick look at an example of one of the accounts. I will have an e-banking tab where I can set up what the bank service is, and this works with all of the various high street banks. You can see here that it also has Sage bank feeds that I can sign up for, and in that case it pulls the transactions directly into the accounting software to aid in the reconciliation process. So whenever you receive the bank statement, as I say, it's either pulled in electronically or from the bank. They estimate that it will reduce the time spent reconciling transactions by up to 80%. So Sales Ledger, it maintains details on customers, records transactions, allows you to manage debt. It also handles foreign currency and VAT, with online bank payments such as Sage Pay. You can record an online card payment also. We can also add a Pay Now button to the invoices going out to allow clients to pay electronically. So we'll have a look at a typical sales ledger account. If I just go and quickly browse our customers, I'll pick an example here, Morley Solicitors, and amend the account. Just a quick walkthrough of the information that's available. So here we have our first set of information, including credit limit and balance, along with the name and address. On the second tab, we have information on the contacts within the customer record. So you'll see kind of multiple contacts and this concept of roles. So for example, John Bampton, you can determine who gets the statement or who gets invoices, for example. On the trading tab, we can set up analysis codes, which are up to 20 completely user-definable codes that can be set up against each account. Things like documents is where we determine what invoice or statement layout we want to send this particular client. Attachments might be you want to store and record a contract, for example. Pricing, self-explanatory. We want to start determining what pricing band the customer falls into or is attributed to. Alerts. This is something that's recently been added in 2018. It allows you to set up and store an alert. Prompt the user while they're performing a list of these tasks. So finally, the fourth one of the financials, a purchase ledger, manages everything you need to do with suppliers, including who you owe money to, what purchases are due, what VATs to be reclaimed, etc. And supplier payment routines help manage who needs to get paid and when. The commercials are the second set of main modules which can be added. These include sales order processing, purchase order processing, stock, and price lists and price bands. We'll look at sales order processing first. So the sales process map's a good place to start. It gives you an idea of the full functionality available. So within sales order processing, it allows you to manage the full order cycle. So from entering a quotation, modifying it up until the point that it gets agreed, converting that to sales order. Even if you want to send an acknowledgement, we can do that also. And then following through the cycle, allocating stock, printing picking lists, confirming dispatch, and printing and posting the invoices. Purchase order processing again manages the full purchasing cycle from a purchase requisition being raised, authorized by a budget holder or manager, the approved purchase order being raised to a supplier, goods being receipted into stock or direct delivery to a customer, and then finally the purchase invoice coming in and being three-way matched against the goods receipt and what was originally ordered. So with the stock or the inventory module, this is another area where Sage 200 differs greatly in strength and depth over Sage 50, and is one of the key reasons why customers migrate. So Sage 200 can manage batch or serial controlled items, things like sell by dates or use by dates if you're involved in food, can provide full traceability from start to finish. Multiple units of measure is another element. Being able to manage multiple stock locations in the forms of multiple warehouses and multiple bins. Various costing methods can also be employed, so from FIFO, standard or weighted average, but a lot more flexible. So let's take a very quick look at some of the information stored against an item. So in this case, we'll look at a whiteboard and then amend the details. So first off, you can see some information stored, things like manufacturer and manufacturer's part number. So when we're ordering this item, we can use their number on the purchase order which we're sending to them. Analysis tab, again, 20 user definable fields which can be stored against the record. Suppliers, we can store multiple suppliers per item, including their typical lead time. This becomes very useful if you are using material planning, as it can be taken into account which supplier to generate a purchase recommendation from. Alternatives, surprise, surprise, if there's no 900 by 1200 boards, you could order a 1000 by 1500 or give them a choice. Cross-selling, that becomes relevant if, say, you want to offer batteries to someone who buys a torch. And locations, we covered this already, the ability to have multiple bins and have the item to know where it's stored within the warehouse. So finally, price list management capabilities provided with full multi-currency, discount groups, quantity breaks, things like that. Price lists can also be imported and exported. Some people will use that as a mechanism of being able to update your price list. So export them to Excel, manipulate them whatever way you need to, and then import them back in again. So we've covered what's included within the financials and commercials bundles. And beyond that, there's some additional modules available from Sage. So just continuing clockwise, Excel reporting. Sage have listened to customer feedback, and research has indicated that 73% of people wanted improved integration with Microsoft Excel. So along with being able to export all of the screens out to Excel, this is a subscription-based reporting tool. We'll cover that in a bit of detail shortly. Project accounting, this will give you that single view to allow you to manage projects, allocate costs, and maybe monitor overheads, manage the profitability of a contract or the group of contracts. Timesheets and expenses can also be posted to the project at this stage. Bill of materials is ideal for companies involved in light manufacturing or assembly. Sales, marketing and service, which is CRM to you and me. There's a full sales and marketing system available, fully integrated to Sage 200. It allows a company to manage their sales pipeline or manage aftercare, case management, having that single customer view. Finally, with manufacturing, we have choices over which solution we deploy for those companies involved in manufacturing. Each of them allow for driving efficiency, should that be material planning or resource availability. But as I say, we have choices around which one we deploy, and we'll be able to recommend after we have a better understanding of the individual business requirements. Okay. So again, I want to look quickly at some of the reporting choices within Sage 200 Cloud. There are a variety of reporting methods available to allow you to maximize the data contained within the database. Each module, as you'll see here, has its own reporting submenu. This, again, through across the various modules, this shows all of the hundreds of the reports that are provided as standard within the system. Each of these individual reports can be picked up, copied and then customized using the report designer if you want to tweak something that's there. Again, the report designer is supplied with Sage 200 as well. Excel reporting, we mentioned it earlier. It's another tool which allows you to analyze the data using the power of Microsoft Excel. So this is a subscription-based tool. There's a number of templates that are provided with that, and again, each of these can be picked up and modified as required. Again, I just want to show one example that I was working on here. List stock, profit by item and by product group. So if you wanted to see just a couple of different product groups, maybe what's on purchase order, what items are on sales order, you can see at a glance product information, date on the sales order, quantity, sales value, cost, and margin, and information like that. So I also wanted to give you a very brief overview of the CRM system that we touched on earlier. Okay, so I'll quickly log into CRM just to show you the interface. I'll log in as a user, Susan May, and this will quickly fire up. Again, this particular product, Sage CRM, is also sold as a standalone product. So in this instance, what I'm covering off is I'm showing you the product that's integrated into Sage 200. But Sage also sells standalone and also integrates into Sage 50 and other Sage back office finance applications. So first thing, log in, you can see a dashboard. There's two different calendar views. So in this particular instance, you can see the calendar to the left and some tasks to the right. Ignore the date. I've restored a set of demo data in. But any of these tasks that are overdue, it's a web-based application, so you can see I'm accessing it via Google Chrome, but you can click straight through to the account. In this instance, see some information. In this particular instance, I'm interested in sales opportunities, so what opportunities exist against that account. And at a quick click, you can drill through into the data. You'll also see I'm currently looking at this in the context of my own CRM, but because I'm a team leader, I can see what other opportunities the rest of my team are working on, where they're at within the sales pipeline. So I can see what's at a negotiating stage. Again, if I want to drill through some of the high value ones, I can click and drill through. In this instance, it takes me some information. And finally, I can see what other communications there are against that and who's been working at it. So again, one central place for storing all of that customer information. So that's on the sales opportunity side. Likewise, there's also a case management system. I'm not working in customer service here. In this example, it's Susan May, but we can create cases, log calls, assign them to people within the team, We actually use this internally with our own Sage system for our support team. So I wanted to very briefly cover some of the ISVs, independent software vendors, those solutions that are out there in the marketplace to complement Sage 200 Cloud. First off, we have our own, and lots of them. We built up a portfolio of products over the last 17 years, some of them fully integrated into Sage 200 and others with standalone, more standalone products but with lighter touch points. Document management, as the name suggests, managing inbound documents into the organization and having those archived in against the appropriate Sage transaction. We have our web POS system, spend control, requisitions management, warehouse management for somebody who wants to access and perform the Sage functions but on a handheld scanner. MPM, we have our own manufacturing process management system, which allows us to, I suppose, assist companies in their manufacturing processes, whatever they may be. QI Links is Quarry software, integration into Waybridge, and some vehicle management utilities, and mobile sales data capture want to be able to, again, access certain functions on a handheld. So we're also accredited for some of the leading ISVs such as Sycon. Use that as an example. Like us, they've been developing software solutions to run on Sage 200 for many years and have lots of solutions, some for verticals and some for more generic businesses, but verticals like construction, manufacturing, and service manager, things like that. And again, for the other ISVs like Equi2, what was previously known as Sage Construct, Eureka, again developing add-ons for Sage 200 for many years, and Pan Intelligence, a BI or reporting tool to report on data that's contained within Sage. So I wanted to recap on where we believe Sage 200 is a perfect fit. Those companies, 20 to 200 employees with 1 to 50 million turnover, where you feel that your current systems aren't truly supporting the business. So if you've lots of systems maybe running on Excel, or if the business has outgrown the system that it's on and the systems that haven't really grown along with it, then that's a time to have a chat, reach out and have a chat with us. Thanks for attending. There's my contact details on screen, and we'll be in touch. Just contact us and we'll be in touch to understand how we can help.